You're listening to the GEC's very own Gecko Radio, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Jeju Morning Alternative. That is right, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Jeju Morning Alternative. Right here, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Jeju Morning Alternative. I was thinking alternative as a clever quip for the kind of music we play, but we're playing all sorts of stuff now. We're playing ska, reggae, hip hop, and we are all for it. Speaking of music, Tehiun, Live All Together. Wasn't that a lovely song? Just the message about it's for nature and, talking about dolphins. It's so Jeju, but it's also just for nature, the love of nature. And I think that's like an ongoing theme or like a secondary theme of today. So it's just a lovely, lovely song. Also, he does the mouth trumpet, which is super fun, super fun. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Good morning, GEC, and welcome back to Gecko Radio, Jeju Morning Alternative. Again, I am your host, Marcos and Che, coming to you live from the global education city, right here on Jeju Island. Today is Wednesday, May 13th, and this is episode 13. Yes, lucky number 13. Let's take that as a good sign. Lucky number 13. We've been saying this for the past couple weeks, but we're going to keep at it. Just for any new listeners tuning in, Gecko Radio is our all-English morning show for the GEC community, Jeju expats, English learners, parents, students, teachers, anyone who wants to start the day with a local flavor. Kind of trying to bring that vibes back that we grew up with as a Zennials, Millennials, and Gen Xers, the morning radio show. So let's just hope there's an audience for that. Please let there be an audience for that. We're right in the middle of the week right now. I hope everyone's doing okay after all that rain yesterday. Definitely one of those classic Jeju spring days where the weather, couldn't decide what mood it was in. That's Jeju for you, man. Gray skies, sudden windy moments, and then somehow still kind of beautiful in that dramatic Jeju way, especially if you're near the water. And then it cleared up. Like nothing happened. And then I woke up today and it was like wet outside again. So I didn't know if that was like any showers or mist or what's going on. But I went outside and my deck was all wet. But I didn't think it rained last night. I'm not sure. Also, I don't know what you guys are. Are you cold-blooded or hot-blooded? I'm a hot-blooded animal. I am a furnace. So, I think it's time to start for me to bring out the summer blankets because I had the windows open last night and I was a little hot, man. I was a little hot. So I think I might have to dig out the summer blankets already. My wife, on the other hand, she is cold-blooded all the way, so she's buried under layers of clothing, so she can't handle that. It's very kind of funny dynamic with our blanket situation. If you are headed out this morning, maybe still watch your step on the roads and sidewalks. Yeah, it's still muddy out there. The roads are slippery. Even though it's raining, you really have to watch the roads. Not to be a nerd, but as the water hits the pavement, that does bring out the oils from the road, and it can make the road still a bit slippery. Good morning, everybody. High five, and Jeju says good morning, and Seokyoung says good morning. Welcome. Again, we're probably going to have a lower count today because all the kids are sleeping in because it is Wednesday, and that is a late day for school. They go in school later. Man, I didn't ever had that in school. I went to public school, but just having a late day where you just go into school at like 10 o'clock. Okay, yes. Writer says, hello from Gwanghwamun, Seoul. Hello, yes. And I love how on my chat, it's like, your number one fan, writer Jung-Yoon Choi. So thank you for that. Number one fan. She is my number one fan, and I am her number one fan. Ugh, gross, right? Okay. Who am I? I am producer, DJ, writer, editor, marketer. I'm the guy who is here doing the stuff, doing the things. My name is Mark. Hello, everybody. Good morning. You can check me out at Makia on Instagram, the writer, amazing writer, and the wife who's talking from Gwanghwamun at Jeju Jade. And then check us out on Instagram at Gecko Radio Jeju. It's good to check out the Instagram because I kind of put like little highlights up as well. And I do like tags and stuff of the local businesses. So if you have missed the episode, do check it out. Also, if you miss it, a lot of people say, oh man, why so early? Well, this show is really aimed at folks uh getting ready for school, as I said, and I asked around. Kids wake up at around 7. They drop their kids off at 8, except for Wednesday. um and so, a lot of my friends, they're just like, man, it is just too early, dude. Too early, bro. I can't wake up that early to listen to you live. But do check out our YouTube channel because it's all recorded. It's all there. So you can just put me on in the background. You know what I mean? If you want to like emulate like an English radio vibe in whatever establishment you have, if you run a cafe, or if you just want to be in the car, or if you have kids of your own, and you guys are just driving around during the day, just put us on replay. All of our episodes are up. Every episode is up. Even the ones that get split up and everything, but that's all up there. The full recording is there. So that's at your pleasure. So you can just imagine that you're listening to it live any time of the day. But we are live 7 a.m. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, yes, and make sure to, of course, like, subscribe. The notification button is great because that gives you a little ding. It wakes you up and lets you know when we are going live. So yes, please, please, please do check that out. Okay, why don't we move on to our weather? I feel like I need to change this song here.
Singing in the rain.
Yes, it's not raining today. Let's hope not. We have good morning from Malang Forest. Good morning, Jongmin. Good morning. Okay, it's weather time. Let's take a look at the weather around Jeju for Wednesday, May 13th. After all the rain we had yesterday, today is looking much calmer around the island. Fantastic. Looking forward to that. The air should feel fresher this morning. Yeah, that's right. And everything outside has that post-rain Jeju look. Wet, stone walls, shiny roads, and extra green fields everywhere. We talked about that earlier. After the rain, the air quality is a lot better, right? The pollen is down, the mise is down, but what is shooting up is the grass and the weeds in my yard. And I looked outside this morning and I was just like, back to it. I got to cut it. I'm not using chemicals, so I'm just naturally cutting everything. So I'm just cutting all the time. So I'm gonna have to get back out there and start cutting. Yes. And writer JY says, hello to all the animals at Malang Forest. Yes, we won't play any pheasant noises today. We won't make it crazy there for you guys. Okay, let's talk about the super local weather. Daejeong is starting off cool this morning, around 13 to 15 degrees, with some lingering clouds early on. And as we move through the day, temperatures should gradually climb into the low 20s, so it should end up feeling pretty comfortable by the afternoon. This is a good spring day. I love it. We may still see a few cloudy stretches through the morning, but overall today looks much drier and brighter compared to yesterday's rainy weather. So if you're stuck inside because of the rain, yesterday that is, today's probably a good day to get outside a little, maybe grab a coffee, take a walk around the GEC. I have to walk my dogs, or just enjoy the fact that your umbrella can finally rest for a bit. Now, after sunset, temperatures will cool down again, dropping back into the mid-teens tonight. That's hot for me, though. That's hot for me. Yeah. So yes, the light jacket is still your friend, except for hot-blooded people like me. I'm totally fine in t-shirts and shorts right now. It's yeah, maybe it's a Pennsylvania thing, or I know some of our listeners are from upstate New York, so that too, I'm sure they're fine. Around the island, Jeju City should stay mostly cloudy to partly sunny with mild afternoon temperatures around the low 20s. Seogwipo will likely feel a bit warmer and calmer on the south side, especially once the clouds start clearing later in the day. And Seongsan, all the way on the east side, the east coast, may hold onto some cloud cover a little longer this morning, but conditions should gradually improve through the afternoon. And air quality is looking moderate today. Not terrible, but you may notice a little haze mixed with the post-rain atmosphere, kind of like the classic Jeju spring combo lately. Yes, so the big picture for the weather: cooler morning after the rain, improving skies through the day, mild spring temperatures, and a much calmer Wednesday overall. So there you go. Looking pretty good for the weather. Okay, now moving on. This is going to be our question of the day, and it's going along with our theme of the day. And let's bring it up. Beep boop. Here it is. In traditional Jeju culture, what is the name of the large shared wooden bowl of rice placed at the center of the table, symbolizing community and hospitality. It was a multiple choice, but I'm like, I'm gonna challenge it today. The kids are sleeping, so I'm gonna make it a little bit more challenging. You just have to know. You just have to know. Okay. So in traditional Jeju culture, what is the name of the large shared wooden bowl of rice placed at the center of the table, symbolizing community and hospitality? And this is a Jeju thing. This is a Jeju thing. So that is our question of the day. So please take a look at that. I'll copy and paste that into the chat. And let's move on to our next song. This is cool because Tehiun, Live All Together was about dolphins and nature. And this one is kind of dolphin themed too. And this is by CYRRCA, Free.
Silver rays on the water, skylight and no haze. Feeling free from the world's chains, yeah, no school days. Seagulls, dolphins, waves, blonde hair girls with braids. Take it so like this, we'll have a tan that'll last till May. Hours talking about sun skin, cause it doesn't matter where we gone, it's where we will have been. Yeah, I'm 17, but I can get some gin. Last year I threw up a lot, but I'm grown now, I take it in. It's last week of class and the teachers hate my visor, but I passed finals. I'll graduate in time, sir. 15th floor balcony, room full of alchemy, neon-mess but blessed. Shout to the sea, I'm young and free. Step my feet to my own beat, Stone Street, looking for something I need. Haven't been here yet, but something tells me this my place to be. Byzantine skies rise, violet and crystallized, mystery in every crack. Cold War souls appear. Haven't been here yet, but something tells me I can find it here. No regret, mistier than girls' tears. Contently chilled to the bone, paying 15 level for a room on my own. 2 meals a day fed, salty feta, tomatoes and bread. Far off the charts, but using my head, combing streets, listening to streets. A grand doesn't come for free. Somewhere rumbling over tracks that never end, ice white like Narnia, crystal covered land. My mind's my only barrier, I pause, take it in. 1,000 words a day and I'm 20 days in. Vladivostok's a dream, now in Moscow's just a name. Old poetry in exile, statues fall from grace. Stay strong and calm, Polizia in my face. 100 icicles crash like chandeliers in my brain. Russian cigarettes between the train cars. It's windy and jolting and you can spit on the tires. As the tundra flies, snow frozen under feet. We cross 100 rivers to pretend we ever had to flee.
Was muted there. We are back. We're back. And I put the question of the day back up in the screen. So do check this out. Okay. So the question of the day: in traditional Jeju culture, what is the name of the large shared wooden bowl of rice placed at the center of the table, symbolizing community and hospitality? Do we have any guesses? Do we have any guesses in the chat? Anybody? The large shared, it's kind of flat, a little bit on the flatter side. It's not very deep, and it's a wooden bowl at the center of a Jeju, at a family table, symbolizing community and hospitality. Do we have any guesses? Ooh, it's a tough one. Okay, the answer is Nangpun Bapsang. Nangpun Bapsang is the answer. Nangpun Bapsang. Yeah. So there you go. Maybe I should have done multiple choice. Anyways, Nangpum Bapsang. In many places, each person gets their own bowl of rice. And I think Rumi's waiting for, my cat Rumi is looking for his Nangpum Bapsang because he is calling for me right now. But yes, in old Jeju homes, rice was often served in one large wooden bowl placed at the center of the table. I believe I have a picture here. Here we go. Beep boop. There we go. And let me take this off. There's the image right there. There it is. Okay. And everyone would scoop from the same bowl, usually with soup and side dishes around it. The word nangpun comes from nang, the Jeju word for wood, and pun meaning wide, shallow dish. You can see it's quite wide and it is on the shallower side. So this wasn't just tableware, it's a symbol of Jeju's way of life. It showed a culture where families, neighbors, and guests shared what they had. So Nangpun Bapsang is more than a meal, it's Jeju hospitality in one simple, warm, communal, it's that's what it is, right? And always ready for one more person at the table. Yes. Wow. Jung the writer says Rumi's meow is super audible. It's trying to take over. Sorry about that, guys. Yes, our cat is very needy cat. So there we go. Nangpun Bapsang. Have you ever had the experience of having a Jeju traditional cuisine like this? Here, let me just blow this image up. Whoop. There we go. Look at that. You have the milk around it. It looks like you have some greens there, fish as well, and you have the rice right in the middle, and that wooden flat bowl. Have any of you had the chance to enjoy this fantastic meal? Anyone? Okay. I have, which I will talk about later, actually. So let's move right along into news. Jeju news briefing. I'm reading the notes here. It's kind of okay. All right. Huh. Okay. So we're back for Jeju news briefing. Jeju has become emergency pest control in Hankyung district after pine trees in the area were found dying from a pest called pine bark scale insect. There's no image from the. This is a note from writer Jung-yoon. She has no image from the news, and after searching it, it's kind of too gross to share. So it's going to turn off listeners and viewers. So we're not going to show you the bugs killing these pine trees. You know what? That's interesting. I noticed the other day I was walking my dogs. Now this could be unrelated. Maybe not. I should check it out. But I was walking my dogs back behind my house, and there was a line of pine trees tall, super tall, several meters high, and they were dead. They were dead, standing there. So I don't know if this is the same issue or what's going on, but I should check that out. I should go inspect those a little bit later. But according to Jeju Province, 370 million won in national funding will be used for emergency treatment starting in November. Authorities also plan to carry out intensive tree injections in areas considered at risk. The issue was discovered after several pine trees in Hankyung district began dying recently. Officials believe the trees had already been weakened by poor growing conditions, cold winter weather, and strong northwesterly winds, and then suffered additional damage from the pest. The pine bark scale insect is considered one of Korea's major pine tree pests, along with pine wilt disease and pine needle gall midge. That's midge is also another type of insect. But unlike pine wilt disease, which can kill a tree within a year, this insect causes slower damage over time, affecting trees. Affected trees may decline gradually over 5 to 7 years. So it's like maybe you don't even know the symptoms until it's a bit too late. The timing is also different. Pine wilt disease is usually seen from September to November, while pine bark scale insect damage is most noticeable from March to May. So the thing is, and this is just me thinking off of the top of my head from just like learning about gardening and learning about like farming myself. I grew up on farms. I worked on several farms growing up, and also I just like tend to my own little crops out here. And many times what happens is whenever a tree is really affected by insects that are native to your area, but this type of insect, this pine bark scale insect, we call them scaly bugs in English, these little scaly bugs, and they almost look like fuzz, like almost like dots. And if you look in really close, you actually see they're actually little bugs. And what happens is generally, plants and crops have a natural defense, right? Just like our own bodies have an immune system and they defend. And if a plant is healthy enough, it for the most part can kind of survive some of these pests that we call them pests, these parasites, these insects that feed off of your crops or your trees or your flowers. But as we just said here, it could be, growing poor growing conditions, a weird winter, weird winds, sometimes the temperature fluctuation that messes with the kind of the immune system of the plant, making it susceptible to disease or the susceptible to insects that go ahead and typically feed on it anyways, but the insects typically are kept in check just by the plant's own defensive mechanisms. Well, if it's all beat up from all these weird conditions, then it's like, buffet time for all these parasitic insects that come in. And then you have to understand, if these insects come in and they're feasting and they're like not challenged, then the insects themselves, these parasitic insects, they themselves kind of have a bloom. Then they blow up, then their populations blow up, and then they start spreading to other plants that have also experienced a weird, winter or conditions and stuff like that. So you can see how this is kind of a problem. And the fluctuations of climate and global warming it throws everything off. It can throw everything off. So that's the kind of like my little 2 cents there about scaly bugs and insects and everything. Okay, moving on. We do have an image for this. Beep boop. Here we go. Can we make that a little bit bigger? Let's do that, huh? Let's do it. Boop. Oh, that's covering my face. Maybe not. Okay. In travel news, the Incheon Jeju direct flight route is back after 10 years. Okay. Someone told me this is the first time ever, but actually it's back after 10 years. Okay. So this is not the first time ever. Back after 10 years. The Incheon International Airport announced that domestic direct flights between Incheon and Jeju resumed on May 12th. The route was suspended back in October 2016 due to low demand. Okay, yes, when we always think of traveling from Jeju to Seoul, it's to Gimpo, and then you got to go from Gimpo. If you're traveling out of the country, then you have to go from Gimpo to Incheon, and But here, the reopening direct Incheon Jeju direct flight, so that's awesome. Great. Okay. Jeju Air will operate the route twice a week using a 189 seat Boeing 737. So that's for all you plane heads out there. I know I got some friends who love airplanes and models and all that stuff. For May, flights will run on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Okay. For May, this month, the flights are going to be Tuesdays and Saturdays. From June onward, they'll operate on Mondays and Fridays. Okay. Okay. So once again, for this month, it's these Jeju to Incheon direct flight by Jeju Air. That's Tuesdays and Saturdays. But then from June onward, that's going to be Mondays and Fridays. Okay. The Jeju to Incheon flight is 7C166, and the Incheon to Jeju flight is 7C167. Okay. At Incheon Airport, check-in will be at the east side of the first floor on Terminal 1. So there you go. So for travelers who prefer Incheon over Gimpo, this gives one more option for flying between Seoul and Jeju, for sure. That's a big one. Moving on. This one is interesting. This one's very interesting. Back to nature. Beep boop. Hey, that's a flower. Very pretty. Okay. Now, this is interesting. A previously unrecorded subtropical woody plant has been discovered for the first time on the coast of Jeju. Jeju's World Heritage Headquarters and Jeju National University say they found a plant tentatively called Get Odong Namu. Get Odong Namu. Yeah, during a coastal flora survey. Okay. And the scientific name is, this is Latin, so apologies for my Latin, Myoporum bontiotes, and it has never been officially recorded on the Korean peninsula before. Very interesting. The plant usually grows in warm and subtropical coastal areas such as southeastern China, Hainan, Vietnam, Taiwan, Okinawa, and Kyushu. Experts believe its seeds may have drifted on ocean currents and settled along Jeju coast. Researchers say climate change may also be playing a role as the plant's distribution appears to be moving north. Since the plant has already grown enough to flower, experts estimate it may have been living on Jeju's coast for at least 7 years. Mangrove-like coastal plants like this are also important because they can store large amounts of carbon, help prevent coastal erosion, and provide habitat for marine life and migratory birds. So this is not just a new plant discovery. It may also be another sign of how Jeju's coastal ecosystem is changing. Yes, I am a friend with a marine biologist, and he also says due to the warmer waters, we are seeing less of a certain type of mollusks, like certain kinds of shellfish, and we're seeing another increase of shellfish that we've never seen before on Jeju. So yeah, here's another image of this flower, this plant. So there it is. And I guess you wouldn't, if you didn't know what you were looking at, I guess you would just be able to you would just walk on by and not notice much. But there you go. Be on the lookout for this flower here. So if you see it, that's a big discovery because it's the first time ever recorded on Jeju, and it is a subtropical plant. So that's kind of indicative to if it's being able to flower, that's kind of indicative to the raising temperatures in Jeju. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Okay, so that is it for the news this morning. Why don't we move on to let's move on to Kingston Rudieska. Let's do that.
산 위로 넘어가는 구름 따라가겠어. 바람의 향기에 어느새 난 취해버렸고, 애써 지난 슬픈 날 외로움 날려버리고 잊어버리고, 멈춰진 낡은 턴테이블 흩어진 기억의 노래 다시 부르자. 희망의 불꽃 타오르며 나 지금 혼자 걷지만, 나 지금 혼자 울지만, 새로운 바람에 내 마음 실어보내요. 어느 초라한 술집 안에서 흐르는 눈물은 내 잔을 달콤히 채워가고, 애써 지난 고통에 날들은 지워버리고 던져버리고, 멈춰진 낡은 턴테이블 흩어진 기억의 노래 다시 부르자. 희망의 불꽃 타오르며 나 지금 혼자 걷지만, 나 지금 혼자 울지만, 새로운 바람에 내 마음 실어보내요.
Gecko Radio in the morning, the only station out of the GEC Jeju. Yep, that's right. The only station out of the GEC Jeju, Global Education City. There we go. That's what it stands for. Yes. We're looking at the chat here. I gotta love writer JY's commentary here. You singing along kind of takes away from the seriousness of the news. So that's her lovely way of just saying, hey, cut it out. Just knock that off. So yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna cut out that, even though Yana says his self-generated audio effect is nice. I should, because sometimes I don't have a chance to review the news to check like how serious it can get. So yeah, that's probably not a good idea. I'm gonna cut back on that. Thank you for that. Even though thank you for the support, Yana Kim, who is one half of the folks who run UN1 Station, who we definitely want to cover later on in another episode, because they are really important. They're a really important establishment on the island, so we do want to cover them. And also, we learned that they actually checked out one of the restaurants we recommended in an early episode, so it's working. It's working as intended. Yay! Okay, moving on. Let's do, hey, what's going around in the GEC? Let's do that.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor.
All right, what's going down in this neighborhood? The GEC, that is. What's going on? What is going on, indeed? Beep, boop. There we go. SJA Jeju has announced its campus testing day for students applying from PK3 through grade 11. Ooh. Okay, so the testing day will take place on Friday, May 29th, starting at 9 a.m. Now, this is for students who have submitted or are planning to submit an application to St. Johnsbury Academy, Jeju, and families interested in joining the school community should make sure to register in advance. So do check this out here. Whoa, wrong direction. There we go. Beep. There we go. Here's all the information right here. Again, the testing will take place on Friday, May 29th, starting at 9 a.m. And yes, good luck. Good luck to all the test takers, and hope that you'll be a member of SJA and also a Gecko Radio listener. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, so you can, be adjusted to this time clock. Here we go. So good luck to everybody who wants to join Team SJA. I'd love to find out when the other testing days are for the other schools as well. So very cool. Good luck to all you guys. Okay, moving on. Ooh, this is kind of important. Flapjack's Juice Cafe has moved. Oh, wrong one. Whoa, there we go. That's our that logo is very intense. Maybe I should have toned that down a little bit. But yes, Flapjack's Juice Cafe has moved. If you're in the GEC, you might be know this Juice Cafe, which is essentially a diner and cafe, a morning diner, very well. I sure do. They have amazing American cuisine and also Philippine cuisine as well. So that's the beloved Flapjack's Juice Cafe, now known as Flapjack's Diner and Cafe, has moved. Yes, it has moved. They were originally in the Samjung apartment complex and moved into the Inu Edu Park business complex. Now, if you don't know where that is, well, the Samjung apartment complex is really one of the oldest apartment complexes in the GEC area. And I talked with the owner, Victor, and he said one of the biggest things was it was just so much of a hassle to get into Samjung apartment complex. You had to like check in with the people at the gate, and then you had to find parking. And because it's an older apartment complex, the parking is very compact and limited. And also the establishment, Flapjack's itself, was kind of tucked back in the shadows a little bit. So, Ino Edu Park, if you don't know where that is, that's on the same road as Upi Upi Pizza, and pretty much next door to that veterinary office, the Honest Animal Hospital. It's right on that main road of Ino Edu Park. It's got the grocery store there. if you know the GEC, you definitely know where this is. Here's an image of the new location. Here we go. I'm going to make this bigger for you guys. Whoop. Okay. Just by there, you could probably guess where this is, right? These buildings are pretty familiar. Okay. And they just put up the banner the other day. So it's bright and yellow. There's a couple hog ones, and then the veterinary office is just down the road. So they are there. That's their new location. And here's another angle here from the other side. I went there yesterday. I took a lot of photos. Here we go. And this is from the other end. And you know that roundabout, there's that roundabout right there. So it's right on the corner. And it's pretty good location considering that brand new school, FSAA, is going to be built right across the street. Yeah. And what do I have here? Oh, yes, there's the owner, Victor. And there's my meal. I had a breakfast burrito and Western style cheese omelet, multiple cheese omelet, super healthy, wheat toast. Yeah, super awesome. Yeah, and so once again, it was a bit tough in the Samjung apartment, so they decided to move here. And they started the moving process back in the beginning of the year. They were thinking about it, I believe, last fall, but then the process started pretty much in January. And according to Victor, here's the owner here. When business is going to relocate, they trash everything only to keep the essential equipment. But Flapjacks, we sought to keep those 3 R's: reuse, reduce, recycle. We're doing a lot of nature stuff today. So this theme is awesome, this ongoing theme. And yeah, when you walk in, it's Flapjacks all the way. If you've been to Flapjacks in the previous location, they kept the same vibe. I learned that the wooden wall panels are actually upcycled old wooden Yule crates and farming crates, and they're putting that up themselves. His daughter, who is an artist, there he is. Hey, look at that. He's joining the Gecko Radio crew, and that's the wooden wall I was talking about. His daughter Maria is a fantastic artist who is painting the murals on the wall, and she also does postcards. So if you want like homemade pancakes, if you want omelets, if you want breakfast burritos, and they're open early. I was there pretty early, and they also do deliveries easily in the GEC. I think he drove out. I caught him when he came back in, Victor, and he was coming from the Sangbangsan area. So they drive out pretty far. They got real maple syrup, no like brand name chemically stuff in plastic bottles. Real maple syrup, unlimited maple syrup. And yeah, it's a family run business too, which is awesome. That's great. That's what you love to see. And that's kind of like the message we want to do here with Gecko Radio as well, is to support the local businesses. And the fact that this is literally a mom and pop shop is awesome. I'll put up the image again here of the new location. Flapjack's, now known as Diner and Cafe, no longer the juice bar or the juice cafe. So there you go. That's Flapjack's there. So do check it out. Flapjack's new location. And for many of you, it's probably a lot closer to home. For me, it's literally right down the road now. Right down the road, like less than I don't know, maybe like a 3-minute drive, if that. Okay. All right. So why don't we do another song here, and then we're gonna do our Wednesday segment called Island Icons. We're gonna talk about a very important person who sadly we recently lost just last year, but super important icon of Jeju Island. But first, let's listen to Wednesday Off's Dylan's Hope.
Sky is gonna be dark, and how many bakers lane is gonna be a whore, and how many birds are gonna be lost their hope, and how many keys are gonna be lost their dream. If Dylan's so bitch reach for the sky, it cannot be done. If Michael Hope bitch reach for the sky, it cannot be done. Oh, gonna be dark. And how many BQs laying is gonna be a whore. And how many birds are gonna be lost their home. And how many keys are gonna be lost their dream. If Dylan so bitch reach for the sky, yes, can I be done? If Michael Hope bitch reach for the sky, yes, can I be them? Oh, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why? Oh, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why? Oh, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why? Oh, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why? Why, Dylan, why? Why, Dylan, why? Why, Dylan, why? How many big blue sky is gonna be dark? And how many BQs laying is gonna be a whore? And how many birds are gonna be lost their home? And how many keys are gonna be lost their dream? Oh, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why? Oh, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why? Oh, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why? Oh, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why, Dylan, why? 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 감사합니다. 네. 코러스를 맡으신 우더스 분들에게도 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. We are going to move on to our Wednesday segment, Island Icons. We are going to feature this man here, Mr. Yong-jin. Yong-jin. Yes. This week's island icon is a man who dedicated his life to preserving and sharing Jeju's traditional food culture. Yong-jin was the director of the Jeju Traditional Local Food Preservation Institute, which he founded in 2000. Together with his mother, Kim Ji-soon, recognized as Jeju's first official master of traditional cuisine. He worked to document and research disappearing Jeju recipes and food traditions. Now, over the years, he helped to record more than 300 traditional Jeju dishes and also wrote books including Jeju Table. And in 2022, he was officially recognized by Jeju Province as a successor to Jeju Traditional Food Mastery. He also played a major role in introducing Jeju food to wider audiences through TV programs, YouTube, and public events. Now, his restaurant is Nampum Bapsang. That is our question of the day, Nampum Bapsang here. Let's make this a bit bigger. Oh, let's make that. There we go. Yeah. Nampum Bapsang. And let's see. Yes, blah, blah, blah. Nampum Bapsang became internationally recognized and was featured in the Essence of Asia by the world's 50 best restaurants. So yes, and there I am. And that was back in May, I think May. I wrote that in the, May of 2024. Okay, May of 2024. That's the image of me and Mr. Yang. Now, The thing is this, Nangpum Bapsang is the name of the restaurant, but they don't necessarily serve the meal with the actual Nangpum Bapsang bowl we talked about earlier. Yang wanted the name to reflect the same warm communal spirit, and the restaurant serves what you could call classic Jeju banquet food, including munguk, a pork broth soup with mom seaweed, and a banquet-style platter of sliced boiled pork. Yeah, there we go. So I'll bring up the image of Mr. Yang again. Now, sadly, and I still can't believe this, but Mr. Yang, he passed away on July 21st, 2025 at the age of 60. So 60 years old is just way, way too young. But many people say his work helped preserve not just recipes, but stories, wisdom, and the identity of Jeju itself. Once again, I can't believe he's gone. He's an amazing human being. I had the honor to meet him several times through other radio projects I had to do. And he actually took me through the market, and we went shopping together, and we were just blown away. Jung-Yoon and I were blown away that we're with this traditional Jeju cuisine master, and he's just shopping, and he's just like, doing small talk with the vendors who know him. They're just like whispering, like, oh, Yong-jin, they're whispering, it's the guy. And he's helping us distinguish between like proper Jeju mu versus like other mu, like just different examples like that. And then he got us all these ingredients. The plan was Jung-Yoon and I were going to get these ingredients with Mr. Yang. Then we would drive all the way back. That was in Jeju-si. We were going to drive all the way back to our old home in Gosan, and then just prepare it ourselves. And then Mr. Yang was like, so how are you guys going to make this? We're like, oh, we're going to like take a crack at it. We're going to try to make it. And he's like, And then he's like, I'll come with you. And then he follows us home. He gets all the ingredients, follows us all the way over from Jeju-si all the way over to our house in Gosan on the west, and then he prepared the dishes for us in our kitchen. I couldn't believe it. We're just in the car. We're like, oh my gosh! Like as soon as we get home, we are like booking it to like clean everything. Emergency clean the kitchen and everything before this like grandmaster traditional Jeju folks cook comes in and does everything for us. He was featured in a campaign video Jae and I made for Jeju for the JTO, Jeju Tourism Organization, that won a grand prize at the end of 2024. And it was a true honor to have really known this man and really cared for Jeju food. And he really just wanted the best to promote it the best he could. And I'm getting a live message right now. I think the writer is saying, hey, maybe go into word of the day, writing in real time at the end of the show. Yeah. So let's do a quick song break, and then we are going to do our last word of the day. Okay. Let's do C.Cle. Okay.
Yeah. I got you. I can't stop thinking about 닿을 수 없는 낭만에 대해 닿을 수 없는 우주와 너 그리고 me and myself 내 주한 불안 낭만에 뒤섞여버렸네 뒤죽박죽 뒤섞여버렸네 내 발길 닿는 대로 사는 삶 따라 뱉는 래핑 내가 사는 삶보단 바다를 향해 잠잠하면 안 돼 심심해 죽을 수도 있어 다이나믹이 필요해 돈 걱정은 뒤로해 나와 영감은 서로 풀 문제가 남아있어 날 베껴갔던 기회도 나가겠어 죽고 사는 문제 우주에 닿는 문제 어느 날의 한기 안에 가두는 쇠사슬이자 동시에 날개 가능성을 가진 동전 양면 Feel like I be everyday 내 절반이 무너진 때야 비로소 맞이하는 광경을 보게 됐네 역설의 향연 빛을 찾기 위해 들었네 어둠의 강연 고통은 당연 성찰은 답이 됐다가 문제로 변하지 널 만나고 나면 I can't stop thinking about 닿을 수 없는 낭만에 대해 닿을 수 없는 우주와 너 그리고 me and myself 내 주한 불안 낭만이 뒤섞여버렸네 뒤죽박죽 뒤섞여버렸네 살다 보면 모르는 것 두성 옳다고 생각했던 것들 예를 들면 남자의 품격 또는 사회 규범 늘 당하고 살았다는 분명한 사실을 증명하는 게 운명이라 생각하고 쓴 가사는 줄곧 남을 향한 날카로운 화살로 채워지 이미 곳곳이 비는 화살통 울화통에 터져 퍼졌던 파편 가까운 순서대로 입혔던 상처 망친 뒤야 떴다고 생각한 눈은 함정 난 아마도 지금도 눈을 감고 뭘 휘두르고 있을 거야 I can't stop this 이상형 앞에서 개망신 인터뷰 방송 세바시로도 감출 수 없어 비겁한 내 자신 I can't stop thinking about 닿을 수 없는 낭만에 대해 닿을 수 없는 우주와 너 그리고 me and myself 내 주한 불안 낭만이 뒤섞여버렸네 뒤죽박죽 뒤섞여버렸네 yeah.
All right, let's finish things off with our Jeju word of the day. And I had it here. Here we go. Beep boop. There we go. Today's Jeju word of the day is 베지근하다. 베지근하다. It's a Jeju word used to describe a rich, deep, savory flavor, especially the kind you get from broth slowly boiled with pork bones or meat. So this is pretty much umami, right? Pretty much. And in honor of this week's icon, Yong-jin, we have to mention momguk. His momguk was often described as the perfect example of this situation. 베지근하다. That means it's not just delicious, it's hearty, comforting, a little oily in the best way, full of kamchimat, which is kamchilmat, which is that deep umami flavor, and somehow it feels like it fills your soul a little bit. So next time you have a bowl of mungguk or gogi guksu and the broth tastes deep, warm, and satisfying, you can be like, 베지근하다. You know, that's properly rich and savory. So there we go. That is our Jeju word of the day. Thank you for tuning in to the very end of this episode, May 13th, 2026. And thank you for joining us with, this week's island icon, Mr. Yong-jin. Just an amazing human being. And we're very sad that he's gone, that he left us way, way, way too soon. So, yes. Again, a big thank you to all the musicians and the local businesses who have supported us and encouraged us, and we want to return the favor by supporting you and showcasing you on the show as well. And again, the musicians, I mean, the list is just growing longer and longer. So thank you. We got C.Cle and Moher and Kingston, Rudieska, Tehiun. Thank you so much for joining us today. So there we go. Tomorrow, is our Thursday segment. That's Jeju Recipe of the Week. Jeju Recipe of the Week. So there you go. A little bit of food action for tomorrow. And that's it for me. This has been Gecko Radio for this Wednesday, May 13th. And I hope to see you tomorrow, bright and early, 7 a.m. So have a great day. And why don't we finish things off with Moher, Sandgrave. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow, 7 a.m. Bye.